You know, I say this all the time. Content is absolutely king, and I probably said it in a video you might have heard previously. And that's one of the things that I keep pushing. And we are through the age of console wars as far as I'm concerned. Like, console wars aren't a thing. Sony's always going to win those. Nintendo does their own thing. Microsoft claim to not care about console wars, but of course they're deeply involved in console wars and keep trying to downplay the whole thing. But let's just be real. No matter how many TVs applications they're on, no matter how many phones, the people that are going to play the most Xbox are people that buy an Xbox, and that's just how it is. I mean, there's no denying that at this particular point. Now, the interesting aspect to what's going on with content wars is you have people and these companies buying up as many pieces of content as they can, whether it be timed content, whether it be the developers themselves. It's something that continues to be ongoing, and that's something that I think will continue. Obviously, as we go into the future, it's going to be very important and critical for these platforms to have great content. And it was interesting because the other day on social media, Colin Moriarty, this clip from his podcast, Sacred Symbols, which I'm a big fan of his, was out there and it was talking about how Microsoft has really failed to garner good content from their own internal studios, and kind of talked pretty much about how I've talked about things for years and years now. And it just kind of bugs me a little bit that now people are starting to catch on and go, yeah, you know what, he's right, when I've been making these points for a while now. The fact of the matter is Bethesda's going to run themselves, but if you look at all the other studios that Microsoft has bought, they really have struggled to get games out, and I understand that we're in a situation with a pandemic or that's over, but there was that for a time. But it seems like in the long run it's only seriously affected Microsoft somehow, and that's a little bit weird to me. And now we have a situation where content and getting it first and keeping what you got is more important than ever, and Sony might be losing a pretty big exclusive in these trying times to Xbox. And I feel like it'd behoove Sony to actually buy the studio, keep this game off of Xbox at all costs. You don't see this type of stuff very often, but I want to get into it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for checking it out. It really does mean a lot to me. All I pretty much ask for is a simple like, which you guys can do pretty easily. I believe in you, and thank you guys. So, with that being said, Kena Bridge of Spirits, the developer has revealed that the game looks like it's going to be coming to other formats beyond PlayStation, probably sooner rather than later. Ember Lab, the studio behind Kena Bridge of Spirits, has refused to rule out the prospect of a game hitting other formats after its exclusivity period on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC is up. Chatting to Segment Next, Josh Grier, the co-founder and chief operating officer for Ember Lab, revealed that the company will look into other platforms later down the line. Presumably, this means Xbox and possibly even Nintendo, but that would be speculation at this time. He says, and I quote, "We are currently focused on our launches for PlayStation and Epic Games Store, which are timed exclusives. We will look into other platform releases after launch and a rest. Right now, with just a few days to launch, it's very difficult to think about the next steps or future offerings. We have been responding to the requests from the community as best we can. For example, we just announced a physical release and the addition of Russian and Brazilian Portuguese. Kena Bridge of Spirits was released on September 21st, and right now currently I believe sits at a 81 or 82 Metacritic. Again, I think this is their first game, and for them to come out with something, which by the way I'm enjoying it immensely, it absolutely looks great. And I know people will go, "Whoa, you hate indies." Listen, I think people like to come up with their own conclusions, and I've made this abundantly clear. When I've talked about indies and not liking indies, it's usually stuff like Skatebird or Zoobity Doops, whatever it is. There's a lot of those kind of crap indies on Xbox and some even on PlayStation, right? Something like this, I kind of more put into like a AA complimentary type situation, and for it to launch, after Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, between Death Stranding Collector's or Director's Edition, you know, I think that that's fine. Like, people really get this stuff out of hand. Like, oh crap, you don't like double A, so why are you playing a double A? You don't like indie, so why are you playing an indie? And I've said it multiple times. Indies and double A should not be the only thing that your platform has, right? That's the main point that I often make when it comes to Xbox. It's supposed to be the icing on the cake. And Microsoft, it's the whole damn meal. And it has been for years, and that's always been my problem. Now, when it comes to this, you have this newer studio. I believe this is their first game, 80-something Metacritic, incredibly well-liked. The actual fans love the game. You know, it's a situation where they've given it extremely, extremely good reviews, user reviews, and stuff like that. So you know that it's actually something that the fans are enjoying as well. Everybody that I've talked to that has played the game absolutely loves it. And again, this would be a smart move for Sony to pick up something like this, because you need a little bit of, I think, everything when it comes to gaming. Like, yeah, sure, Sony's gonna have the big AAA monster mega hits, the God of Wars, and you know, those type of things, Horizons and Spider-Man and Wolverine. Man, just thinking about those games is just an amazing thing. But even with that, I think that you need a good mix of everything. And so this would be a very good group like Housemarque to go out there and actually have something that is indeed you know, looked at as they can be like maybe that double A, maybe give it with a little bit more funding, AAA even, you know what I mean? And I think that would be great. I know they also have Pixel Opus, which did another really good double A that I liked, Concrete Genie, which I thought was extremely well done. And you know, they continue to do really good things. But this is very interesting. I think like most indies and stuff like that, and most end up on everything. I'm not stupid, so I completely realize this. The thing for me is that it really kind of comes down to you know, what these studios are kind of offering each other, like the fans in general. And they're usually so small, a lot of them, that they can't make multiple versions at one time. So I completely understand why we see, you know, like stuff like Stalker 2 will come to PlayStation years, a few months later, or what have you. Whereas we have a situation with the Medium. Remember, everybody thought, hey, it's the Medium or whatever, and turns out, you know, that wasn't that wasn't a long-term exclusive, and I knew that. You know what I mean? I knew that. So it's just one of those things where people have to kind of put these things into perspective and realize that, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is going to end up everywhere. But I think in this particular instance, we should definitely have, you know, Sony perhaps look into actually going out there and maybe perhaps buying this studio, because I think they would do excellent with, you know, with Sony kind of being the parent company and kind of doing just amazing things, you know. And I think that would be incredible. Incredible. You know, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds. Even if it does go multi-plat or whatever, that's fine. I just think that it's a great thing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else they can make. You know, this is one of the things that gets me excited, something fresh and something new. So, you know, hopefully that continues to be the case. With that being said, I will link this. You guys can check it out. Let me know what you think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out. Booyah!